Hi everybody, I'm Robert Kennedy. Welcome to Omaha, Nebraska. Beautiful fall day. Thought I would follow up the big adapt or die the Mustang II story with a much shorter video, just showing you two of the more rare Mustang IIs out there. Aside from a Monroe Handler, which there were only 8 of those things built, there was the steel-bodied original, the widely known 6 fiberglass copies, and then one additional that actually went to a VIP politician type guy and has since gone to the other side of the globe. But aside from those, this 1977 MS Convertible, this would be the Classic 2 from MS Coach Builders, is maybe the next most rare. There were only 44 of them built. And then this King Cobra, 1978 only, the grand finale of the series. There were 4,971 of them built, 1,724 with T-tops, and as equipped, this is actually a one-of-one car. So I thought we'd take maybe just a quick 5 or so minutes to kind of show you a few of the big differences, kind of compare and contrast the cars, let people that might never see one in person, maybe like yourself, get a good chance to take a look at it now. So why don't you come on over here. We'll start with the engine bays. I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood here on the convertible. And then we'll come over here and pop the hood on the King Cobra. Now you'll notice on the King Cobra in several places it is not necessarily 100% factory original. We do have an engine dress-up kit here with the Cobra valve covers, the finned air cleaner here, some MSD ignition, a few other upgrades we've got here from a Bronco II master cylinder, little things like that. But specifically to point out here in comparing and contrasting the two cars, all Mustang IIs with T-tops had these firewall defender braces as well as torque boxes underneath the car that frankly it sits low enough we're not going to be able to even really bother trying to see those. If you come over here to look at the convertible, despite having less of a roof, there are no braces here. In part, this is different because MS Coach Builders did the conversion as opposed to American Sunroof Corporation that did the T-top conversions for Ford. Both vehicles were essentially subletted out as projects to be completed by other manufacturing facilities rather than directly on the Ford main line. The convertible you would think would need additional bracing over the T-top because it has less of a roof, in that it has no roof at all, except underneath, MS actually welded such large, heavy-duty subframe connectors that they essentially look like railroad ties. And truly, driving the two cars back to back, the convertible is in fact significantly stiffer than the T-top, even though I've added Stumpy's subframe connectors underneath the King, and they do work so well that I could immediately tell the difference once they were bolted and welded on. But the convertible is still stiffer. Okay, so let's go ahead and move to the passenger compartment here. You'll notice, like any other standard Mustang of the time, we've got the wood grain paneling, whereas over in the King, if we take a look, as in any Cobra II or King Cobra, we've got the brushed aluminum paneling. Okay, we do have the deluxe door panels in the convertible, not unlike others. What is different is this bar that attaches the sun visors. They can no longer pivot to the outside edge in convertible form, and you'll notice just above them we do have the anchors for the convertible top, as well as the mechanism, the up-down switch right there in front of the passenger, just kind of nicely tucked away there in a convenient location. You will notice also in the back of the convertible here, the seat belts have been moved. They are down here on the armrest of the back seat rather than coming out on the top, as you would see inside the King Cobra, where it would come up here at the B pillar and loop back down and around. This was a manufacturing change necessary for the convertible top, as there was no B pillar to hang the belt from. I will say that while you need a seat belt for sure, it does not work particularly well for retracting from that angle. I've just noticed that in driving the car. Moving to the luggage compartment, Emmis did a really nice job installing this carpeting to kind of separate the usable trunk space from, it's all buttoned in here, the fiberglass tub that keeps the convertible compartment separate from the rest of the trunk. So that's a kind of a nice little setup that they've done there. Really, it was a quality conversion here, and that was part of the issue, was that Ford spent so much money paying Emmis to go ahead and do these conversions in a very quality way that it more than doubled the price of the car. Let's see. Oh, yeah. If we take a look at the rear quarter of the car, underneath the pinstriping here, it says Classic II. Now, one might think that Classic II was a very intentional and specific name to the Mustang II convertible. We had Mustang II, we had Mustang Cobra II, but Classic II was actually designated in advance by Emmis that all of their convertible conversions, whether they were Chevrolets, whether they were Oldsmobiles, whether they were Fords, were always, or Chrysler Corbettas for that matter, they were all going to be Classic II, and it was sheer dumb luck, just a most wonderful coincidence that the Mustang II ended up getting the Classic II designation. If we come on over here on the King Cobra, given I've got bigger wheels on this, you'll see those in there too, but the rear wheel spats, for anybody not familiar with a King Cobra, that's a specific part to King Cobras. The air dam that wraps around on the front here, I don't know if you want to angle down, it's probably not worth getting down that low, but there are brake cooling ducts that channel air through that air dam to the front disc brakes. That's another King Cobra specific feature. Don't mind the chewed up bumper here. My in-law's puppy did that while I was in storage last winter. It will be getting fixed. So I don't want it to, oh yes, I do have one more thing to show you. This convertible is an 8,000 mile car. It is still running every original part with the exception of the battery, oh my goodness, I'm having a brain fart. The voltage regulator and the 4 tires that it is sitting on. Everything else is 100% original, including we still have original quality control markings here on the air cleaner, and if you look underneath on the bottom side of the hood, you'll see KTNC number 1659, April 7th, 77. So right there, these are some more final quality control type markings, and I suppose I'll also show you the buck tags on these cars are particularly important, as Ford included a lot of information on the buck tags that you wouldn't necessarily get from just the VIN number. For example, over here on the King Cobra, you'll see V8 KC, as in V8 King Cobra. That's the only way to really tell on some of these models whether they're the authentic real deal or not. So I do hope that this has helped you to learn a little something. They are very neat cars, somewhat misunderstood, but everything from the original 5.0 to the convertible that is so rare, most Mustang fans not only don't believe it exists, they specifically believe it doesn't exist, but they do. So have a good day. Next time you see a Mustang II, give it a friendly wave. Without them, we wouldn't have any of the new ones. Thanks a lot, and maybe we'll see you again some other time.